signed by President Biden this week will get money to those who need it most. It calls for providing an extra $300 in unemployment benefits through the fall. It also provides stimulus payments of up to $1,400. The full amount goes to individuals earning less than $75,000, but then the payments phase out as income goes up.
So if you're $75,000 or less, you should get the full $1,400. Once you're leaving the $75,000 between $75 and $100, it does get phased out down to zero beyond $100,000.
Married couples earning less than $150,000 also qualify for the full amount.
Everybody get excited. Everybody get excited. It has been confirmed that millions of people can start to receive the new financial benefits coming from Joe Biden. The lawmakers in several states have approved an extra $100 monthly benefit boost to all eligible people. And that's definitely what everyone needed for this holiday season. Stimulus, and that's only just the tip of the iceberg, because this means some households will be able to claim up to $1,500 in the extra financial aid this month. So, to help with the cost of groceries, many families are actually eligible for food assistance, and they can expect to receive extra help this month ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday. Michigan families receiving SNAP will receive at least $95 more a month, and according to the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services recent announcement, additional food assistance for eligible families will help more than 1.3 million people in Michigan and more than 700,000 households. The governor has also said in an official statement, this extra $95 will help families get a little breathing room as we enter the holiday season. I will continue to work with anyone at the federal and state level to help people in Michigan put food on the table and keep their hard-earned money to pay for other critical household expenses. For eligible residents, the additional benefits will be loaded onto bridge cards through November 21st and towards the end of the year. The added benefit will show as a separate payment from benefits already loaded on cards earlier this month. The state officials have noted there is no need to reapply for additional benefits. In October, those receiving food assistance benefits have also received a cost of living increase. Inflation has been scorching hot and increasing since the last time this year. Consumers have been paying more for grocery items as price increased by double digits in the last few months. It's the fastest rate of increase in food prices in 40 years. Not good. But last month, the grocery cost rose again, 12.4% over the last 12 months, and now the cost for food items in 4 of the 6 categories that the government tracks rose again in October. Cereals like bakery products and even milk all increased by crazy amounts from 15% to 8%. The Fed is now providing the additional funding to those receiving SNAP benefits in response to the crisis under the Families First Response Act. And now everybody at the Georgia Department of Human Services says if you haven't got to see your benefit or SNAP benefits, it's because they're dealing with an increase of renewals, inflation, and a worker shortage. Some say it's crippling thousands of people in Georgia. For many, they're looking for answers about their SNAP benefits. Well, I have the answers for you. From Georgia to Hawaii, everybody, listen up. Those thousands of people say their SNAP benefits have been delayed for weeks. Well, the government recently released a statement stating, due to inflation and workforce shortages, we're working through increased volume for SNAP applications and renewals. We continue to explore ways to secure more flexibility to process cases more quickly and efficiently. Now, this week, a federal appeals court blocked the Biden administration's student loan forgiveness plan yet again, and now 20,000 people in student debt are not going to receive the payments. The ruling from the Court of Appeals is a response to a lawsuit filed by the 6 Republican-led states that argued that Joe Biden was overstepping his executive power. It marks the second court ruling blocking since the Texas judge did this on Thursday. But now, everybody, the Biden administration can appeal the decision to the Supreme Court. This is where things get serious. White House press secretary said this week that the Biden administration is confident in our legal authority for the student debt relief program. She added that the White House plans to continue to fight these lawsuits by Republican officials, and the court decision on Thursday and Monday leave 26 million people who have applied to the debt relief program in limbo. For Thursday's ruling, the Biden administration stopped taking applications for its student debt forgiveness program. Borrowers are facing a deadline again, with the student debt repayment hiatus currently in place slated to expire in December, and repayments set to restart in January. If the cases are not resolved before then, millions could be on the hook for repayments that they may not have anticipated. Folks, we know one thing for sure. President Biden must do more for the American people and send out stimulus payments before the end of the year. If you guys agree, tell me in the comments down below.
Thank you. And from the 9th District of North Carolina. And a special thanks to members of my staff and their young children who are here today as well. Matter of fact, if you look, you see that dog up in the balcony there, that German Shepherd? That's my dog, Commander. I was worried if he came down here with all of, he just do nothing but kiss you and lick you. But he may go after the turkeys, so I kept him up there. But we're joined by another group of kids, as I said, from students from Brooklyn Middle School. The reason they're here in Washington, the reason they're joining us today is, you know, they were invited a couple years ago to come, but because of COVID, we couldn't have it. So I'm glad you guys came this year. Thank you very, very much for coming. And we're also joined by students from the 4-H programs of Virginia and Maryland and the folks from the National Future Farmers of America. I want to thank them for being here as well. But before I gobble up too much time, I didn't mean to get started, man. Don't start on it. And by the way, that's my grandson, Bo, up there, and my granddaughter. Don't let him jump. At any rate, you know, we got to get on with this. First of all, the votes are in. They've been counted and verified. There's no ballot stuffing. There's no foul play. The only red wave this season is going to be a German Shepherd Commander who knocks over the cranberry sauce on our table. That will cause, they are big turkeys, aren't they? My fellow Americans, please welcome the 2022 National Thanksgiving turkeys, chocolate and chip. I tell you what, man.
So in this video, I'll be bringing you up to date on what exactly is going on with President Biden and Joe Manchin's Build Back Better bill. And is Senate Democrat Joe Manchin ever going to support the plan? Well, I'll be answering those questions right now, everybody. Stay tuned. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Here it is. Many of you are concerned about Joe Biden's massive spending plan. There is definitely a lot of news surrounding President Biden's economic plan and negotiations that are currently going on right now. The biggest issue right now is that West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin is opposed to the current version of the bill. President Biden and Manchin have agreed that an acceptable version of the bill would spend around $1.75 trillion in 10 years. Now, Joe Manchin had announced that he was opposed to this bill. But let's get to the facts. SNAP benefits saw a monumental expansion over this past year, the biggest in the food assistance program's history. It is really great how it came at a time when millions of people are hurting financially as the crisis forces people to choose between rent, heat, and food. However, as we inch towards the third year of the crisis, non-profit people warned that the need is not going anywhere. The third stimulus check, everybody, unemployment insurance changes, the federal student loan pause, and the enhanced child tax credit were all part of the government's relief package last year. But they can affect your tax bill this year. If you have received any enhanced child tax credit payments, then it is important to know that these payments will affect your tax bill. The credit was increased from up to $2,000 to as much as $3,600. Many families receive half the larger payment throughout 2021. That's all in monthly installments worth as much as $250 to $300. And those who were eligible to receive the third stimulus check, which were dispersed last year, but never received it, could finally get